when Pope John Paul, in 2004, I believe it was, started the Eucharistic renewal for the churches, and he asked for every parish to have perpetual adoration. That's when I became very involved.
It was my mom's goal to have me within an hour as soon as I started driving.
Funny story, it started in March of 2000, and it was during Lent, so my first impression was, hey, this would be a great way to go through Lent. And then I realized what perpetual Eucharistic adoration meant. It didn't stop after that.
These three adorers are talking about their commitment to perpetual Eucharistic adoration. To someone who's unfamiliar with the process, the idea of taking an hour each week, sometimes in the middle of the night, just to sit in silence in a chapel like this can seem unnecessary or even daunting.
But still, when you think there's 168 hours in a week, 1 hour before the Lord, no phone, no other anything.
My mom always says this: if people truly believed that God was right there, they'd be here all day.
The practice of perpetual adoration came from an encyclical written by St. Pope John Paul II in 2003, titled Ecclesia de Eucharistia. In that letter, he notes how the Catholic Church had largely abandoned the practice of adoration and encouraged Catholics to revitalize their commitment to the sacrament through perpetual adoration. And so now, people can sign up for the same hour every week in the same location. That way, adorers are present in a chapel 24/7 around the clock, and there is always someone there in front of the monstrance.
I just have the 1 hour. It's 4 a.m. every Thursday morning. So it was actually this morning that I was in chapel.
It's my reset button for the week. Like, I need that 1 hour of silence, and it is in the middle of the night. Like, I do sleep beforehand. Like, it wakes me up. And sometimes it is difficult to get out of bed. But once you're here, like, you don't regret it. I've never regretted not being here.
The National Eucharistic Revival, as declared by the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, can be seen as a continuation of the encyclical written by St. Pope John Paul II. In June of 2023, the second year of the National Eucharistic Revival, titled The Parish Year, emphasizes participation in the Eucharist by members of the parish. What better way to do that than through perpetual adoration?
I think people they're kind of scared to come to adoration because they don't really know what to do, or when they're here, they feel like they didn't use their time wisely. But adoration is kind of just, you do your own thing. Like, there's different forms of prayer, different things you can do. Like, sometimes I come in here and I just kneel in complete silence. Sometimes I read, sometimes I sing.
Well, I find with young adorers, they really don't know why they want to adore, but they want to be part of it. This is when I used to, have people call me, and I'd say, well, let me meet you there and let me show you the adoration chapel. And they were just very quiet. They were like afraid. And I said, don't be afraid, it's Jesus. And they said, what do we do when we get in there? And I said, let your heart go. Tell him about your day.
If you've got anything that doesn't feel right, go sit in front of the Blessed Sacrament. It eventually will be right.
Many Catholics remark that silence is an overlooked aspect in today's modern society, and coming to a quiet chapel helps them stay grounded. Like
nowadays, this is a bit off topic, but people always have their AirPods in, or like some kind of noise going on. And even me, like, sometimes I'll come here and I'll be like, wow, I haven't been this silent the entire week. Like, even just your thoughts.
When you're silent, very silent, and you're before the Blessed Sacrament, there comes a voice that maybe you've never heard before, but it's in your heart, and you kind of strain to listen. And you say, Lord, and then you become acquainted with that voice. And I think once you've become acquainted with that voice, then you listen for him every day.
So many have found that this deeply spiritual commitment is a good way to stay in tune with their faith during this National Eucharistic Revival. Reporting for Arkansas Catholic, I'm Colin Gallimore.